Over 300 years ago, the kitchen for this farmhouse started in this little cottage right here. 200 years ago, this would have been well, this is where they cooked at the very least. Then 150 years ago, they put a back kitchen on this farmhouse, and the kitchen was kept there. And 40 years ago, they actually moved the kitchen back in here against this back wall. But now we're putting our stamp on this farmhouse and giving it a kitchen from the 21st century. Let's go. Well, that's not a bad job at all.
It's a day lost.
Amazing.
There's a bit of a sore head had.
There's a mist.
So it's massive.
I really would.
All hours.
I don't know when I'm gonna do that.
Such as like
Japanese pole saw. Check it out. You think I would have picked up a little bit of carpentry?
I wonder why.
Sure, we give it a go.
With the big black shiny spiders.
It's coming off. Fingers crossed.
Okay, so I have just got this underway now, and we're kind of moving quite quickly through it, but it's time consuming. So I'm determined now to get at least this wall finished today, and maybe get the other wall raked and ready for pointing. We lost today on Monday because we had the electrician here. No more need for these. We got lights, and he needed us to help, obviously, just because we did all the wiring, and he needed to just make sure that everything worked as he wanted it. So there was just a day lost there. So day lost means I've got to kind of catch up tonight. So I'm going to try and stick with this tonight, all hours, just to get this part done. And then, yeah, I mean, if I'd had Monday, I probably would be finishing the other wall, or at least starting the other wall now. But anyway, look, such is life. Of course, electricity is amazing. We can't believe we have lights. We still have to just go around and make sure all the sockets are screwed in properly. But he tested everything and everything was right. He did ask for a few extra things that we do have to do. So, but there are other things that he's going to be coming back to do anyway. So, but at least we have power. So it's massive, and we have underfloor heating. So of course we turned on the underfloor heating because we were dying to know how that would work. And of course we laid that ourselves. We've never laid underfloor seating, just the two of us before, by hand. So, and that all works. So we couldn't believe it. So Monday night was a bit of a celebration. So yesterday was a bit, of a sore head had, and we were tired. So, but I'm down a day, so I really need to get on. So I'm just going to blaze through this now. Last night I hosed down the fireplace, and this section, which is sort of slightly darker, you can see that, slightly darker. So that's ready to be pointed. So I'm going to get that done now, and we'll see how it goes. It was great to bring life back to this fireplace. And my little sidekick kitten, she's not here in this clip, but she kept disappearing up the fireplace, running up and down the inside cavity. It was quite comical, really. Now, so a little bit more done. Started inside the fireplace. It's really great. There's some big holes in there that I really wanted to get filled. Had to use a few stones. But it's funny, as you go along and you see like this stone here and quite a few of the big ones, especially where you've got a kind of an irregular side, I suppose, not a flat side. They are absolutely coated. Where did I just see that one? Here. They are coated in this clay. So I originally thought that they just used the clay in between the stones, but it seems like that even this might be one. I've got a feeling this is one big stone. The clay is still in the middle, so it's almost like they packed the wall with clay as well as in between the stones. So I didn't know that, so that's quite interesting to see just how it was built, really. So I'm going to scrape the next bit and blow it all out the window if I can, and we'll be get going on the last little section. As I go, I just thought I'd show you here. So this is where I'm scraping out. And I don't know if you can see these. All these little... These are all pieces... This is oats. Just buried in the wall. It's interesting, like, was this some kind of an oats house? Loads of it. Or did something else bury them in here? Mice, rats. It's very high up, right up by the ceiling. So if anybody has any ideas, like, how did the oats get up here? So far up, and there's so much of them. God, I think I better not do any more digging. We might end up through the other side. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that little bit. I didn't find any more oat stashes behind the rest of this wall, thankfully. So this part is just raked out now, and I filled one builder's bucket with clay, and this is just a remainder. It's amazing really how much you take out, but it's a nice way to work with it bit by bit, because if you take too much away, you're really going to make the stones unstable. And because everything is in a line, you know, there's nothing. I feel, or Rob feels, that maybe when they were building this wall, perhaps they kind of, you know, went to the fireplace, then here, there's sort of horizontal lines running down through it. Because they're all so straight, I can see that the wall is very structurally stable. So, of course, my pointing isn't anything to do with structure, really. Of course, it will help, but it's not anything structural. So I don't want to remove anything structural. So I'll just do a little bit of raking. Then I get my hoover, and I can blow then really strongly in the cracks, and that seems to do a good job. And then I'm just spraying it, absolutely soaking the wall with water, so that it will sit and set nicely. So that's how we're going. I've just realized I've got a little bit more raking out here to do, so I don't know how I missed that. Might just do that as we go. And I just thought I'd very quickly just show you what I do at the very end. So as you can see all of my trowel marks in here, and I just have this old brush, and then when you sweep it back, it gets rid of all those marks and sort of smooths it out, which I think overall looks better. So I'll show you here. So this is what we haven't done yet, and you can see all of the trowel marks. Yeah, just a bit uneven. There's some bits that needs to be actually brushed off the stones as well. Obviously want as much stone showing as possible. And then this is what it looks like afterwards. So it's smooth, relatively smooth. You can still see bits all right here that I perhaps could have done a better job on, but you kind of get the idea. If you find this boring, then you should try this yourselves one day. It was full on, very detailed, and I was flat out all day until about even 9 o'clock that night, I think. I was still at it. And afterwards I have to come back with a brush and go over it again.
Hey folks, we'd like to give you guys a huge thank you for being here on this journey with us. If you actually would like to support the channel and help us make these videos, why not consider buying a few Christmas cards or a few of our postcards, or why not pick up a handcrafted Christmas decoration? All of these are available on our Ko-fi store, links below. For something different, why not check out our Homestead journal on Amazon, or you can become a member of Patreon. And as always, if you're not subscribed, please do so and hit that notification bell. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Good morning, folks. Wonderful day here to do some carpentry. I really would like to finish off this kitchen. I think it would be amazing. But my floor of this barn is wet, but it's not raining in here. There's a mist. That's just because it's open here. The mist is just rolling in, and it's a weird damp that's settling on everything. So Unfortunately, that means quite a lot of my tools are developing a little bit of surface rust. I mean, that's brand new, it's barely used. But that's right in the laneway. I have a motorcycle cover that I put on it. I think pretty soon, I think I'm going to have to do something about this workshop. I'm going to have to move it or close it in. Originally, I thought I would take this roof back to this beam and then carry over with this beam and just remove the front part of this workshop and somehow just tidy up all the rest, get rid of the central divide, raise the floor, turn it into one big workshop here. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, but I can't get these tools all wet. I mean, it's crazy. It's not raining, but things are getting wet in here. Okay, that's enough moaning now for me. Let's get on with the build today. So I shall whip out my trusty plans, schematics that I have created here. So first up, I need an 81 centimeter by 43.5 centimeter unit that has 2 doors opening out. Next to that, I need an 80 centimeter wide by 72 centimeter down 3 drawer unit. Next, I will have a 60 centimeter dishwasher door. Now ideally the 3 of them would be from the one sheet, so that's 80 and 80, 160, and 60 is 220, and the sheets are 240. So I should get all of them from one sheet. And then all of the offcuts there, I'm going to build a box to house the bins. I'll show you that in a minute. First, tidy up my counter, my worktop. Second, let's get a sheet of wood. Isn't this a handy work table? Like, I specifically designed this so I could do the doors in the kitchen, and I'm very, very happy with it. Right, let's get some wood. So I had a few offcuts that I could have used, but I really want to get all these grains line up. To do that, you got to cut them from the one sheet. No two ways about it. It is a bit wasteful, but I got plenty other projects for the birch ply. So pretty happy with this. I got 2 doors done for under the sink. They're pretty good. It was the first time using one sheet at different heights. So the first 2 are 72. This is, I think, 43. So it was a bit tricky to cut the angles in here. I needed to use, first time really using this tool. It's called a Japanese pole saw. It's quite skinny and it works on the reverse, pulling this back, I think. And it's pretty flexible as well. So that was a pretty cool saw. Nice to finally use one of the many tools that I have I've never used before. So they're fine. However, problem with that saw was when you're pulling it back, you got to be careful not to pop the veneer. So right there, I just popped that back. So I just put a bit of glue on it. I'm going to leave it clamped for about 20 minutes. And this is the dishwasher cover. So I'm just going to leave this here. I'm going to take and fit those 2 doors. And then we'll be back down for more. Okay folks, we're back inside the kitchen. I'm just going to show you on this because I'm not sure I explained it very well, but I'm trying to get all of the grain to match up across all the doors and across all the cabinets. So when I have them cut, I mark the bottom down here and I point the direction that's the back of the cabinet, so they'll never get mixed up. I need to put a hinge here, here, here and here, so 4 hinges, and I need to put them on the inside of these. So what I do, I'm going to flip this over, making sure the work surface is pretty clean because this is the finished surface. Okay. So again, we can see the bottom on both sides, which means they're the inside, and I want to put the hinges here then. Just roughly, so I know where I'm going, I'll just mark these in just random locations. The actual location is down 12 centimeters from the top Actually, I'm going to go down 10 centimeters. On all of the cabinets, everywhere else that I've built, I have gone down 12 centimeters, but these are a bit skinny. So I'm going to go down 10. Right. I just draw a straight line from the back of that 10. Super. Next, I use my hole cutting jig. I just line up the little pin in the middle with the line. I clamp it in place. I drill down to the washer. Here we go. And another pile of mess on the floor. Do the other side. It's actually kind of cool to see the different color sawdust as you go through the different layers of the plywood. On to the next. Right, these are the sets from B&Q. They are pretty self-explanatory. This part here goes right in there. Fits perfectly, except it's up a little bit because this wood is too thin, and this is the part that goes on the door. I find it easier. They both snap in. So I find it easier to fit here, and then we'll just drill holes, because this one doesn't have holes. Usually the cabinets have holes ready made, but this one under the sink I made from scratch, so it doesn't have any. Now this should be in a perfect line, but I'm never that lucky, so I'm just gonna eyeball it and hope this is close enough. Normally you just snug these down. However, I found on mine, because it's raised up a little bit, you're on the risk of bending it, and this soft close won't work, so you don't want them too tight. This seems fine. So if you remember, I had to build this whole Belfast sink kind of stand that had to be super reinforced. That's what these 2x4s are. Which also meant that the unit didn't come pre-drilled for holes, so I had to do it myself here. Well, that's not a bad job at all. So there's very little instructions for fitting these drawers, but because I did it already once before, I kind of had a good idea. Straightforward enough, but once I got onto the dishwasher door, oh my god, this was like... You wanted an advanced maths degree to figure out how this went on, but it went on. So here we are, we got this done. It wasn't too bad. It needed a little bit more finagling, I suppose. Dishwasher, it just wasn't perfectly aligned. So it's not brilliantly lined up with these drawers, but it's good enough. I am annoyed, actually. You can see kind of some kind of handprints there. We gotta get some stain on this pretty quick to protect it, but it ain't the worst. There's a little scratch mark there also. Next we have this little section. Now I gotta build something here because I need to secure the dishwasher side to it, and this is a wine cooler, but I'm just not sure. We were thinking just doing shelves would be quite useful for utensils, and we build it out of the ply, But then we know where to put our kind of a rubbish bin, so we think we might keep that in, but I might still build some sort of a podium. I'm not sure. I have some measurements. I'm gonna go down to the barn and check it out. See how it goes. I could have used one sheet to make sure all the grain lined up, but really I was just trying to use up the scraps. And to be honest, I was quite impressed with how this turned out. It's a good carcass. It made me wonder, could I have made all the carcass myself in the kitchen? Now, look at that. Nice little birch ply cabinet for the bin. I'm actually all out of hinges, but I built the door for it as well, because I was gonna leave it open, but maybe we should just chuck it in. Now the thing is, my floor is not level, so I'm fully expecting this to not fit. I'm not sure how badly it's gonna not fit. I may have kind of a wavy line that I need to correct. So we'll just have to see, won't we? The main thing I want to do though is attach the top to the countertop, because there's chipboard underneath the countertop, so I should be able to screw it up. But we shall see. Let's go. It's looking tall already. Let's see how good I am. Okay. Oh wow. How did I do that? Look at that!
Awesome.
What do you reckon?
Awesome.
And honestly, that was on my first attempt. There was no pre-fit, sure there wasn't.
Nope.
But, like, after doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
60.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. After doing 27 cabinets, you think I would have picked up a little bit of carpentry. I quite liked this so far. So now, I just need to attach the dishwasher to this. I need to secure this to the roof and just straighten it all up a little bit. And I'd say we could probably call that done. Very nice. Very nice. Don't know how we're going to open this one.
Does it have a little gap for you to put something? No. Oh, that's annoying, isn't it?
Maybe I'll just not quite go through the full way. The sink looks amazing there, doesn't it? See the little slab there, you really shine that out.
Yeah. And the sink itself stands out.
Yeah, the white actually is the colour of the counter, but we put tung oil on that and it just turned to the kind of a yellow grey. But originally it was white, it's just everything would have stained that. You really had to give it some protection. Okay, try and straighten this one up, I guess.
I did think I'd get through this quite quickly, and I do enjoy doing it, and it is nice, but it's very time consuming. And I thought I'd be through, but it looks like it's taking a week. It was exciting, however, to move round onto the corner to the next section. It kind of felt like a new project in a way, a new wall. So just very quickly, I just started to rake out both sides here. This is obviously, as you can see from the brown, is clay. And like the rest of the wall, they just use clay to put between the bricks and also to kind of compact around them. This side, however, is just like a lime plaster. No clay whatsoever in this section, which is sort of unusual, because then when you step back a small bit, and you might be able to see here, sorry it's difficult with these props, but here, so here's my lime, and then directly behind it is the clay. So the clay starts here, but the actual edge of the window is lime plaster. So definitely not done at the same time. Whatever this was put in for, or extended or made smaller or whatever it was. So, and actually looking back then at this has gone back to lime in between as well. There's no clay. So it's just a small little section in the middle that's got clay in the middle. So it's just so interesting. I wonder why, or what was this opening? Was it just one big door for animals, or what was it? And then they last minute decided to fill it in and make a window. Whew, I don't know, it's all very interesting. So I've just changed over now to make a mix, same mix but with normal sand, just to go around the windows. My little sidekick has been here helping me, watching and looking. And all the way around the window just to secure them in. It doesn't need to be the white sand, so there's no point to waste that. And then also I need to just finish off this massive crater over here. And you? What do you want?
Black stain ebony.
On my table.
Your table? No,
yeah.
need.
So I'll have to put you down now and go and find the black stain.
Okay guys, high pressure moment. High pressure moment. Am I going to destroy my lovely kitchen cabinets with this fella? Sure, we give it a go. Apparently, it does exactly what it says on the tin, but I don't quite know. So I only have a small tin. I'm going to be very disappointed if this doesn't reach everything I need. This plywood is, it's quite absorbent, so I'm not sure I am going to get a lot. I'm just going to test it a little bit and see how we do. Alright, so here we go. Moment of truth. I don't want it on very thick, so I'm going to use a cloth and I'm just going to rub it on quite lightly. Hopefully then it won't be a thick stain. It will, I don't know. Alright, so unless I want to do the surface, I'm going to go like this. Perfect. Quite happy with that now. I don't want to get any of the stain on this side just yet. Alright Claire, what do you reckon?
Oh! I need lights.
Do we have lights here? Even at that you can't really see it very well. Anyway, that's what I was going for. I really like the...
Okay, yes, that is very nice.
Isn't it? The grain coming through.
Mm.
And it's like the shogi, sugar.
The burnt Japanese look.
That's the one. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting.
And I think the speckledy, like it's not matte or satin, there's bits of grain coming through. I think it goes really well with speckledy surface,
yes,
doesn't it?
Yes, it does, yeah, it does. But I think overall we knew that it was too light, so we had to do something.
We had to.
Well, we didn't have to. But I mean, you could always make a spare set so that we could put these on in the summertime, and this could be our winter look.
It's not a bad idea. Will you do spare pointing as well? So we can have red pointing at Christmas and white pointing and no? Okay.
That's not a thing.
Alright, you go back to your parlour and let me finish off, because this is going to take a lot of time. There's a lot of elbow grease going into this.
Go for it.
Yeah.
But it'd be great to get handles on, won't it, today?
To get a handle on it. Get a handle on it. Alright guys, there's nothing to it but to get to it. The jacket's coming off, the time lapse is going on, and I'll see you a little bit later. So just filled in around the windows now. I actually think that's even going to really help with the drafts in here. That can all be lime pointed now the rest of the way through as normal.
This was just a normal sand mix, so that I didn't have to waste my white sand. I just really want to get to the bottom of this hole. So I managed to pull out and take a few stones out with it. The rest of the lintel, which was up there. And I'm going to see, I'll just show you the big hole, because clearly it was a doorway, because there is wood further in the hole than we would like, which probably means that it's spanning to the outside, of course, as well. Don't like looking in here because this is where the big black shiny spiders can be. And you can see that's just wood in that hollow. So at some stage we may need to attack the outside of this wall and remove that wood. But I'm going to see what I can remove here now. And maybe I'll pop you just on time lapse while I'm doing that. We can see what I actually... Do you know what? I'll just get my glove. And we can start to pull out whatever we found. I don't want to put my hand in there with the big black shiny spiders. Although that seems like stone now. There's wood back here, but there's a massive piece of wood. Whoa. Which is at the front. Which it would be great if I could actually just reach that from here. I think I might be able to. Okay, I put you down for a second. Let's see how we go. So the other piece is here. God, that's quite wet. Let's get that torch out. So what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to try and fill this hole, go out and get some rocks and try and fill that hole as best I can with the mortar I've got. So, trying to pick the rocks.
So a few things surprised me doing this job. Firstly is the amount of elbow grease required. It was like I was waxing 20 cars trying to rub this on with a cloth. The other thing was how messy it was. I kind of realized it was water based, so I thought it wouldn't be that messy, but I didn't wear gloves. My hands got destroyed from it. They're still there now a few days later. So this is looking pretty good. What are your thoughts, guys? Do you prefer the original plywood or the stained? Claire wants both. But I can tell you right now, that ain't gonna happen. One or the other. And by one or the other, I mean we're gonna keep it like this. Next job, I gotta do the kick plates down here. I need to cut and fit, and then I need to tackle those horrible bits at the very top Claire left for me. Finally, I'm gonna do this large piece. I'm gonna do this right here. And I need to do a nice strip behind these chairs. See you in a minute, after some lunch, but in a minute.
Okay, not sure where I left off, but this was the great big hole we were filling, which is done. And I've just filled roughly along here. These areas were actually just solid concrete above the window. So I will just lime render those and they'll be fine. So I started to finish off, start connecting the corner between the two sides and get this side done. So I'll pop you on time lapse for this one. There were 2 cornerstones needed here to finish off the corner around the window, and I found 2 perfect ones that fitted lovely in the spaces. So the one thing I thought I didn't show you is actually how I'm doing this and what tools I'm using. Rob bought a pile of tools when we first took on the build, just all sorts of different things. And this is like a pointing tool, and I had a bigger one of these. Do you think I could find that when I came to do this flipping wall? No. So I still can't find it. So I'm using a bit of a mixture of this one, which is a smaller version of the one I had. The one I had was just a bigger one of this. A scraper to help push. I'm kind of using the scraper, filling up the scraper, and then using this to kind of push it in to the cracks. And then my lovely neighbour just came down a while ago to see how I was getting on, and he knew that I had lost and misplaced my original pointer, and so he made me a new one. And I just think, how lovely is that? He actually made me a new one because he couldn't find his own one, and then after he'd made me one, he found it, so he brought me two. So it's just so lovely to have help and lovely neighbours near to us that are just so kind, you know, and they understand what we're doing or what we're trying to do, and the support is just great. So thank you, Mike. And I'll keep going. Funnily enough, I've got so used to using this tiny little tool now that I'm kind of making do with it for most of the time. But however, Mike's other ones are quite good as well. So we'll leave it there for now. Just near the end of the wall. It seems like it's taken ages to do this, and this seemed quite bitty, but I'm really not looking forward to that side. But anyway, so that's where we are. Pop you back on time lapse. Despite the knee pads, my knees were giving up at this stage. We just about finished for the night. I was so done with this side.
Surprisingly, there was a few screws coming down from where we poured the concrete. Dremel got them out, no worries. Hey folks, just gonna wrap up there now. I kept coming across bits and bits and bits and bits and bits to do, so I'll show you where I finished up. Obviously all the cabinets are done and dyed. I put the new piece of plywood there, gonna stain that as well. I have a small rectangular piece that has to go in there, but my post is sitting on a rock, so I need to find the shape of that rock and just transcribe it onto this, so that'll fit in nicely. Can't screw it in yet because we need to change those plugs to plastic. I put on the trim at the very end of the island, and that also has to be stained. I've started to fit the kick plates down here on the bottom, and they'll be removed and restained. That one, like, you know, our floor isn't perfectly straight, so I gotta just trim a few pieces off. And the dishwasher's not closed. Looking good. Damn it, one thing I wanted to do actually is to put holes in these. I might still do that yet. It's just everybody's having difficulty trying to open the drawers. There's no way to get things out, so I might do that now. And the final thing then is this. I put that trim here at the very end, so I'm going to stain that as well. I'm going to stain this, so you're just going to walk into a really sleek, modern, minimalist looking kitchen, and I love it. Super happy with this. I'm very sorry I didn't get to finish. I would love to have finished it all tonight, but things started to get away from me and the bits and pieces went into it. There's two other bits, I suppose. There's this tiny little trim here. I had to go the whole way. That was a skinny little piece. And then when I was at it, I decided to do this skinny little piece just to balance it properly. So we're gonna stain that. It looked a bit weird just having the white strip, so there was a few bits there that I had to get working at. But that's it. I'm gonna wrap up here. I'm gonna pop in and see what Claire's at. I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna give this a tidy up. I'm gonna be editing tomorrow, so I just wanna make all my tools a little bit easier to work around. Hopefully I'm gonna finish this for the weekend, and I'm also going to attempt to do the windows. I'm thinking there's a little bit of trim that I have to put in here around the window. I'm thinking of doing in the same effect. Thinking of doing that window in the same effect. Just trim on the sides and top. Then for our big windows, I think I'm gonna do the larch trim, just like you would have seen in our bedroom. So hopefully this weekend, this room might actually get done. Fingers crossed. Over to Clare. So what's happening?
Well, we've got to the window. And
oh, it looks lovely. What's this creature
me and my
doing in
sidekick.
here?
She's been popping in every time I need a helping hand.
That's not bad. It's a little bit low.
Wet.
Do you want to make it flush
I
with
can't
it?
make it. I just can't put any more on now.
Okay. Looks great though. I love actually how it's not as white. Like it's very white when you put it on.
Yeah.
But it goes back to a much more natural colour. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And you had the boss
I
over
just
to inspect, didn't you? Stonemason, your master.
Oh yes. My mentor came to check on me. Yeah.
And?
I told everybody.
Oh, sorry.
And he made me my own special tool. So yeah, it's good. The floor looks very wet at the moment because I did soaked this wall. And I just felt that was really important because it was so dry. So it's going to take a little bit to dry out.
Yeah.
But anyway, just this.
Oh yeah.
What are all the major holes?
Oh, that's a good job up there. Well done. Is your cat stuck in there? Do you want to get her out or something?
No. I'll get her out. Oh, she's coming out. She's looking out. Check him out.
Evil creature.
Oh, Losty. Yes. Losty was had her own little tool, didn't you, Losty? This one? Is this the one you were using? This you little handies could use? Yes, this one. This is especially for John Shaw because I think he loves cats.
Oh really?
When he's always asking her the cats. And we think you may have caught the mouse, but we're not sure. But she crawls up the chimney every now and again to have a quick look.
The cat?
Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, can you put the cat on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it. I'd love to say I'd have this done, but
So would I.
I feel what I got done in the little time frame that we had was good.
And this is like your little woman cave, isn't it? You like coming in here, pottering away. I heard you were listening to a podcast, throwing on a few tunes, spending a few hours on your own. Is it your little sanctuary?
Podcast now, right, was kind of necessary.
Yeah.
You get sick of music, then you get sick of people singing, so you kind of go instrumental.
Listen, do you now?
So it's all...
Listen to a book, an audiobook.
Yeah, I should listen to an audio. Shouldn't be Lusty. Would you prefer that? Yeah.
Alright, it's late. I'm wrecked. It's shower time.
Okay.
Thanks for everything, folks. We see you next time.
Slán go fóill.
Gur míle maith. Pro tip for when you're staining, wear a glove. That way the neighbours don't think that you're some sort of a goth with black painted nails. They do look pretty good. I don't know why women complain about painting nails. Just get yourself some ebony stain. Good job. Why is your cat in the wardrobe?
I don't know. So, Rob, can we just...
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Honey.
You know that's gone in the bloopers. You go. Yeah, that's why. Stupid cat.
She's like, I can see you. You can't see me. I can see you. You can't see me.
Oh, that was a bit aggressive.
Anyway, yeah.